Welcome to the new podcast, episode number 112. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man, Kelly. Let's get to it. Lots to talk about this week. We had a 2-week vacation, as we do. Enjoyed our time off here. I enjoyed mine especially. Taking a little breather, coming back to the show with a breath of fresh air as we see COVID starting to leave and summer right around the corner. The weather is a changing up here, and you can feel it in the air, Kelly. You can feel it in the air. With everyone, the positivity is swirling around this world now, with people being vaccinated and restrictions finally being lifted. We're hopefully come summertime, man, we'll be able to go to concerts and do shit like that again. I cannot wait. A huge fight went down last night here. Oh man, was that ever a card and a half? 3 title belts. No one tested positive for COVID. No one got injured. It was one hell of a card. We'll break that down at the end of the show. Talk some video games as well. Man, we're going to get to some reviewing the reviews. But other than that, just been hanging around, not doing a whole heck of a lot in this new, it's going to be the post-COVID era. Who knows what's going to happen down the road? And I cannot wait. With all these vaccines coming out, we're going to be flush with these vaccines, and I cannot wait. What about you, Kelly? What did you get up to this week, man?
It's just a wife's birthday, so we had a family dinner thing.
Nice.
Just the people inside the family unit, though. And then we also went out for a brunch at a restaurant.
Oh, cool.
And that was with everybody who wanted to go there.
So,
yeah, it's just, we didn't do too much, but, everything's kind of locked down still. So.
Yeah.
Basically, that was basically all I did this weekend.
I went to the other day was Ricky's. I had breakfast from there. Fuck, is that shit good? They had those
all day grill.
Yeah, exactly. You just it's just like everything in a bowl. I love skillets and shit, and that's what I usually make for my lunches too. Like I'll cook up like rice bowls and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And eat it, man. Anything I'll just eat it out of a bowl. If it's in a bowl, I'll eat it. I used to be into wraps all the time, like chicken wraps and that type of thing. I used to love anything that was in wrap form. I was always order it. Chicken Caesar wrap.
Now it's like, I just shove that shit in a bowl, man. I don't got time for wraps.
Exactly. It could be wrap or a bowl. Anyways, moving right along here, let's talk some MMA news. I think the biggest announcement this week is the releasing of Alistair Overeem and former champion Junior Dos Santos are told adios by the UFC. Huge dudes. They got, Junior Dos Santos, I can see a little bit of it, Kelly.
Yeah.
But Alistair Overeem?
Yeah, man, he has a big following. That's a big paycheck. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Especially with John, coming up to the heavyweight. I think that could have been a good fight for him.
Yeah, big time. And then maybe talk about releasing him. I know he's older. He's obviously, he's 40. And he's going to be turning 41.
But he talks well. He doesn't stutter.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the issue was unless it was just a paycheck.
Maybe it was.
Because I think that's the only reason they got rid of Yoel too. Like, what's going on with the structure at UFC where they're handing down these huge like this is all you can spend on the UFC roster basically. Like what I mean? Like huge budget cuts like everywhere. It's crazy.
It really is.
I don't know.
I thought this one was weird, but that's the only thing I can think of too, Kelly. I know he makes probably, 200, 300,000 plus a fight.
Yeah.
Which is huge, but that's not his fault. That's good management on his end. You can't, the dude does put asses in seats.
And how much did they have to pay for Fight Island? Like, fucking how much are
millions
they still spending on that? I don't. Yeah, man, the roster is all that really matters.
Oh, exactly. It really is. That's your bread and butter. Good point, Kelly. That is what makes the UFC is the roster. And they lost a veteran and a dude who, obviously he got whooped just recently. quite badly, but still he's been beaten many times before, and he always comes back. You know, if you just break down his Alistair Overeem's record here, it's not that bad at all. You know, the recent loss to Volkov, he beat the young up and coming Augustus Sakai. He beat Walt Harris, loses to Rosenstruck in the last second. You know, beats Alexei Olenek, beats Sergei Pavlovich, loses to Curtis Blades, loses to Ngannou. Most dudes do. Beats Fabricio Verdum, beats Mark Hump, and then he loses Stipe for the belt. You know, just not that long ago. You know, 4 years. You know, I guess it is kind of that long now. 4 years ago, he was fighting for the belt and almost won it against the most winningest heavyweight champ of all time in the UFC history. But just, you know what I mean, it just doesn't really make sense when you see it on paper.
Doesn't matter how many times you win. Doesn't matter if you're an exciting fighter that people want to watch. Apparently, it just matters. It comes down to paycheck, I guess. Like,
it
how
really
much
does.
do you want for each fight, and whether they're willing to pay it. And I guess they're just willing to cut people instead of compromise now.
It's a sad, sad statement, man. Let's break down Junior Dos Santos. Yeah, Junior Dos Santos makes much more sense. 4 TKOs in losses in a row here. You know, obviously the Cyril Gain one, you know, that controversial elbow. He also loses to Rosenstruck. He loses to Curtis Blades and Ngannou as well. But, you know, now you just took 2 guys out of the top 10, basically. You took them out of the UFC.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I can understand Junior.
Yeah, me too. I think it was more of a health thing when it came to Junior Dos Santos. I don't know. I don't know if he fights again, and I think that's the next big question, man. Kelly, do you see Junior Dos Santos or Alistair Overeem? Where do they go from there? Where do you see them landing?
Not Bellator. Oh, you know what? Overeem might go to Bellator.
That's the only guy I could see as well. But
yeah,
you know,
Junior maybe like a K1 or something. I don't know.
PFL maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
something like
Alistair,
that.
I can maybe see Alistair going over to Ryzen potentially. You know, moving over to Ryzen, and you know, because he has such a huge following in Japan. But they don't even have the competition. But you know, maybe is that what he wants?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough luck for Junior. He should look at becoming a coach or something, I guess.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, because really, you can only take so many of those knockouts before he's gonna start stuttering. Yeah, before that, you know, beating Derek, he's got a win over Derek Lewis. He looked really good in that fight. Win over Tai Tuivasa. Blagoy Ivanov, he also has a win over. And then he lost to the champ as well. Stipe, big win over Ben Rothwell. And then obviously the loss to Alistair Overeem. He's kind of had up and down there for a little while.
Tough break.
Yeah, tough break. Sad to see those two guys go. I remember, you know, when Junior Dos Santos first won the belt against Cain Velasquez. You know, it was like that big Fox event where it was like just basically their fight on Fox, and I thought there was, you know, that this is, you know, the changing you know what I mean, of an era, but you know, that was a long ass time ago. Really long ass time ago. You know, that was 2011, 10 years ago. So it's time to hang him up, unfortunately for him. Moving right along, there's a funny piece of news that I wanted to talk about that happened a few weeks ago. Was Brian, Misha Tate's ex-girlfriend, Caraway, facing multiple charges for stealing her ATV and then trying to claim the insurance on it, saying that it was stolen from him. Super crazy story. You can't make this shit up, Kelly. So I guess he had, I don't know if they bought it together or something like that when they were together. Yeah. But man, oh man, Brian Caraway, dude, you make yourself look like a terrible, terrible ex-boyfriend here with this one. This is just straight psychoticness out of you know what I mean, like out of the most redneck, you know what I mean, Facebook drama you can find, and we see it here. So what he does, he steals the ATV and steals the paperwork with it. And then takes out a huge insurance policy on the ATV, and then when he gave it back to Misha, he claims that it was stolen from him, and that the thing was worth $18,000, and it was written off for an $18,000 ATV. Like, give me a break here. Okay. So obviously, when they saw that number of what the thing was being claimed to be worth, people started snooping around and realized this guy is an absolute idiot. And I just feel so sorry for Misha Tate. He's got to deal with this jerk off here and this crap. Wow, we're getting some hail here. It's coming down. Anyways, man, oh man, Brian Caraway, what a loser. Seriously, you're gonna go steal her ATV and then claim it, and then you know what I mean, and then claim that it was stolen as well. What a jerk off! Go away, Brian Carey. Now you probably won't ever get a job again too.
Yeah, he's gonna have a felony record.
What a dumbass! I just thought it was kind of funny news. To steal her ATV, like how redneck is that? In other crazy news, Khamzat Chimaev coming out with a tweet saying he is done. Saying he has retired at the young age that he is at. I think he's like 28 or some shit. Saying he cannot train. He cannot train. He's still sick from he's going to be a long hauler with his COVID symptoms here. And just super, super sad. Dana White coming out later on saying that he was just depressed and that he is not retiring. He didn't say, he did say, you know, kind of goodbye and thanks his team and everything. He didn't say in so many words that he would, he has 100% officially retired, just saying kind of like he's done for right now.
Yeah, he probably wants to get off the USADA fucking piss test list so he's not woken up at 5 a.m. while recovering from corona.
Yeah.
And all this shit. He's probably a long hauler, right?
Apparently he is on steroids right now. That's the thing. UFC has him on this super crazy steroid to try to heal up his lungs. And that's the thing. He went to go train when he wasn't supposed to go train and just couldn't do it and got super depressed. And then came out and said, "Yeah, I'm retiring. I can't do it." So you know, I mean, that's just they're saying Khamzat is just such a gym rat. He just cannot stay out of the gym, and you know he goes there and can't do what he normally does and feels weak and says he's done. But a bunch of people got into his ear afterwards, and he basically backpedaled on it, which is really really good. Especially you know Dana White has obviously invested a lot of money into him, and other political leaders. You know, what I mean with. Like people from his country coming out and saying, yeah, you definitely shouldn't do. Rethink it, take some time off. So now he's come out and said that he should be able to fight come summertime. So let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of Khamzat Chimaev comes back. I hope he comes back at 100% and doesn't feel like he has to rush his way back.
Yeah.
And he can come back healthy because that's no one wants to see a 50% Khamzat. Everyone only wants to see 100% Khamzat. And I can't wait for him to have a speedy recovery and come back to the UFC. Next, he's got a ton, just an absolute stacking of women fight announcements coming up. Two going to be going down on the same card, on the same night. UFC 261 will have the title fight between where Valentina Shevchenko will defend her belt versus Jessica Andrade. Should be a huge fight with that one going down. Cannot wait to see that one go. And we will also see Weili Zhang finally defend her title against Rose Namajunas.
Thug Rose.
Also going down the same night. Two huge announcements. It's kind of interesting they would have them both in the same card. Wouldn't spread it out, but hey, you know, I think it'll work out, and I think it'll actually turn a lot of heads. I'm glad by the announcement, just because just how kind of women's in MMA in the UFC is kind of almost being forgotten about, Kelly. And I gotta touch base with an announcement that was also like a huge announcement, and it kind of made, and I almost had forgotten about it, where Holly Holmes will be taking on the Venezuelan vixen Juliana Pena, headlining a UFC fight night in May 8th, and it's got to be for a title, it's got to be for the belt because they're fighting at 135, and you know it's one of those things where. Can you guess, like, Kelly, how many times a 135-pound belt was defended in 2020?
Once.
0.
Whoa.
0. I know. A belt in a women's division, you know, that is owned, you know, right now, obviously by Amanda Nunes, did not get defended once in an entire year. How nutty is that, man?
That's probably the first time it's ever happened.
I wouldn't doubt it. And, you know, I mean, I forgot about it, and I'm sure a lot of other people did as well. They're not promoting it properly. And I think that's why these two women obviously got to be fighting for a title shot at the belt. Or, hey, maybe Amanda Nunes vacates it. Maybe she vacates one of her belts. She doesn't have to, especially with the showing she put on last night. But it's just so weird how, you know, the UFC has really just kind of left the women's divisions, all 4 of the women's divisions, just to go on their own and say, you know, do what you can do, and we'll see, hopefully you get fans. They aren't promoting it properly, and it's just very, very odd. You know, the days of Ronda Rousey are long gone when the women, she put the women's division on the map, obviously, but they got to promote somebody else from the inside up to make that next person, and they just can't do it. And I think the main problem is the talent. Invicta is these underground obviously mill that they use to get women's talent, but I don't think that's enough. I really don't think that's enough, Kelly. I think they need to be actively pursuing tons and tons of women in combat sports to make to bring this division back. I want to see all the women's divisions be super successful. I'm glad we got all these announcements recently because you know, I mean, the last, can you even name, Kelly, like the last time before last night was the last women's belt of any division that was defended?
Defended. Because Amanda got Cyborg's belt last time.
Yeah.
So this would be the first, before that. Fuck, I have no idea, man.
Exactly. I know, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, man. November 21st, UFC 255. It was the last time, Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, like, how long ago is that? You know what I'm saying? You don't know, you know, it's basically, you know, December, January, February, March, 4 months ago. We didn't see any women's belts to get defended. How fucking ridiculous is that? Absolutely ridiculous. And if you go back farther than that, the other time was Amanda Nunes versus Felicia Spencer at UFC 250. And then before that, it was UFC 248 Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And then again, Shevchenko fought. So there's only 4 belts, that 4 times these belts were defended in all of 2020. We only had 4 title matches for the women's belt, and 2 of them were Shevchenko. So it's just fucking insane that we didn't see these multiple title defenses. And, you know, you have great stars in Valentina Shevchenko. You obviously have one of the most storied, champions of all time. We're going to be the biggest women's MMA legend of all time in Amanda Nunes. You have all these women who are great champs. You know, Weili Zhang, the first Chinese champ, and all the women in that division too. And there's even now talk, Kelly, of 145 being removed altogether.
Damn.
I think that's a terrible idea. I think it's
crazy.
a terrible idea. And they're saying it because of ratings. Well, that's not it's not their fault. It's your fault, UFC. And I think it's just it's you know, I mean, I'm not getting on a fucking soapbox for women's rights or anything like that. I'd be doing the same thing for any division that was doing bad, that had such high potential.
Is this like, okay, they have USADA.
Yep.
Are they trying to make a legitimate sport, or is it entertainment? Because if they're getting rid of people because of ratings, then why'd you get rid of Overeem and Yoel Romero as well, when all they do is bring attention to your sport and ratings? That's fucking bizarre to me.
Super weird.
Yeah.
I think they got, again, that's my solution. There's a lot of bitching about a lot of problems here with the women's division, and my solution is to scout some more for talent. You're going to have to go to different fighting, to kickboxers, to wrestlers, to college wrestlers. There's tons of women college wrestlers out there. Why aren't they tapping into that market?
Yeah.
Tons of places they should be tapping into to find the next big star, or just to find competition for that next big star to fight. That's the thing. They need women. They need blood in the division to fight, just to straight up put on cards.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest thing. A girl wrestler won her state championship at 105 pounds, and that was wrestling guys, wrestling boys. She won 105 pounds, you know what I mean? She could fight. She could compete at 115. Obviously, 115 and 125 aren't the problem. Those divisions are deep and have a ton of talent. And you know, with Zhang and Shevchenko as the champs, they have some great faces leading the charge for those divisions. Obviously, I'm more concerned for 135 and 145, the 2 belts that Amanda Nunes holds. And there's just really no competition right now, and they need it desperately.
That'd be interesting. A female wrestling men her own weight, just because she could typically have the stronger, you know, like legs and frame, but the men would have like the stronger upper body. So it'd be like lower body versus upper body. I think she'd be good at shooting and getting them down, but I should have a harder time with the the actually grappling part, trying to just connect the opponent's back to the mat. I think that's pretty impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It was a huge. It's all over the grappling world right now. I can't remember her name, but it was a huge feat. I remember watching the video of her highlights from winning the tournament. It was an absolute huge feat. Good for her. Hats off to her. And I think, you know what I mean, scouts should be calling her for. Obviously, she's probably gonna go to college because it was just for high school.
Yeah.
But still, you know what I mean, the UFC should at least have their ears perked up for this young girl. At least try to get her into the into the training, into underneath the UFC umbrella and use her as a blue chip. And like I said, get other women college wrestlers. Simple as that. Done deal. Send me the check, Dana.
They're gonna make it a fight circus. It's like, we just need ratings. We don't even give a shit anymore. We're letting go of Izzy because he lost.
Yeah, you lose, you're fired.
We're gonna let go of everybody. We're gonna have like tag team fucking MMA. We're gonna do dudes versus dudes versus chicks. Two chicks versus a dude. Two little dudes versus big dude. We're gonna do all that shit. Yeah.
I'm in.
New UFC. It's ultimate fighting circus.
Take that, Dana. What are you gonna do about it? That's good.
Man.
That's good.
So weird, man. That company, I don't know who it's being run by now, but
It's being run by Cam Soda, which is a cam girl website.
fuck.
I was surprised they haven't done any like
Crazy.
like two guys and two girls fighting each other naked or something like that. So I'm really surprised that hasn't happened yet.
Man.
One can only hope. Back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. Had an interesting. I like to go off my personal experience. I had an interesting. We have a Circle K's up here now. I know they're everywhere in America. It's gas stations or just a straight up corner stores. Similar to obviously to 7-Elevens, and ours used to be called Max, M-A-C apostrophe S, and it was like an owl. It was kind of weird. I guess because they're open 24 hours type thing. So they've all turned into Circle K's up here, and I go in and cash some lottery tickets and buy some zigzags. And the girl asked me for my ID. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. And then she goes, why is it green? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, she was claiming that my ID was counterfeit, that my ID was fake. This, you know what I mean? This person here who's like, you know what I mean? Who the fuck are you to be able to be an ID official that you're going to say that my ID is fake? It's clearly not. I'm old. You know? And it's clearly not. Fake ID.
You're 12.
I know. Why the hell would I be having a fake ID at my age? Like, give me a break. And it's just like, who the fuck do you think? Who the fuck do you think you are to be able to question my ID as not being valid? Give me a break.
Maybe she didn't think you looked as old as it said you are.
Maybe she was flattering me that I was. There was no way that I was that old, that I would look too young. All the gray hairs in my beard gave it away that I could pass as 16, I guess. You know? So I'm gonna do that. But that Circle K unfortunately only has like 10 reviews, so I'm not gonna do that one. I'm gonna do one in the States. Even in the States, people aren't really giving a lot of love to Circle K's. So I'm gonna do this one here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I think it's right beside a McDonald's we reviewed before too. This one here has 113 reviews for 3.7 stars. And at the end of the round of the story, she ended up. So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, and she just shakes her head and sighs, and then sells me the zigzags. I'm like, what the? So like, you stopped the world. You really got me. That guy dressed up as an old guy, that young kid dressed up as an old guy, really pulled one on you for zigzags. You know what I mean? The fuck. For this one here, weird. The tags on it is price, homeless, gas, and debit card for some weird reason. Debit card is one of the tags. We got the first one right off the top of the list is a newbie review here too, Kelly, and it just seems super over the top here. But I love it. I got to read this one. HB1 review, 5 stars a month ago, and new podcast newbie review. I must say, I never ran to my phone to give a review before, but after having amazing service here, I ran. He ran to his phone. He can't stress that enough, Kelly, how literal he is about that he actually ran.
Fucking emergency, man.
I know. I had to get this review out right away. The 2 workers were amazing and friendly. Clean bathroom and sanitary procedures were being done. They even poured my iced coffee for me. Smiley face. COVID protocol, but it made me feel special. LOL.
Circle K makes you feel special.
This person, I think, got hit in the head by something.
I think you probably are special, sir.
Oh, boy. Someone beat the crap out of this dude with a squeegee outside. And then he just dreamt this whole thing.
Oh, fuck.
He ran to go do the review, first of all. And
yeah. He fucking runs through, and then he fucking has to check out the washroom, make sure it's clean.
Yep.
Fucking licks the toilet. Tastes fine.
Yep. Taste test approved.
Goes around, asks for some coffee, make sure that they pour it for him so he feels special.
Oh, he was getting a raging boner. It's just so weird. Leave a few of those ice cubes out. Oh boy. JD, 124 reviews, 90 photos. He actually took a pretty good photo. 1 star a year ago. Pre-COVID. Is this pre-COVID? Yeah, it is pre-COVID, yeah. Went into the convenience store tonight at 5:27 to buy a simple coffee and 2 nutritional health bars. He's got nutritional health bars in capitals. Okay, like why do we need to know this shit? Oh boy. And 2, then you got to make sure he bought 2 nutritional health bars.
Wow.
He works out.
He's twice as healthy as other people
I know.
who only purchase 1 nutritional health bar.
Exactly. I know. I'm not like those bitches who only buy 1. I buy 2. They were very inexpensive. When I got to the cashier, it was a older gentleman with light brown eyes and a very distinct Raiders tattoo. Oh my god, I didn't realize this was a
novel.
This is a novel. Oh, we're in the middle of this. On his hand, he began to scan the items I wanted. He looked at me clearly. His eyes were very glassy, as if he were intoxicated or some kind of heavy narcotic. Okay. He overrang. I should say overcharged. So he's correcting. This guy is a mess. He writes something and then corrects his writing instead of just deleting it.
I love it.
Oh man. Where the hell am I? Or I should say overcharged what I was purchasing, and he had trouble putting the items in the bag. As I was trying to pay him, I told him that price was over the items it should be charging. I asked him to check the register. He became very confused. In his confusion, he tried to put the scanner on the counter into the bags as if it was mine too. Once he realized that it was not mine, he took it out and again stood as if he was trying to figure out how to ring up my order. LOL. The store began to get very busy, and more busier it became, the more confused he became. Jeez Louise. Another gentleman came in. The customer was very conscious of what was going on. Customer told him that he put gas on the wrong pump and he was presumably trying to purchase. The cashier was intoxicated or under a narcotic, began to argue with him with the customer over this. Unfortunately, I cannot deal with this craziness. I left the items on the counter and walked out. I would highly recommend that you bypass this place or that the manager look at their employees under the influence of drugs.
That's hilarious,
Wowzer.
Man. He's making minimum wage.
I know. This person just loved repeating themselves, too. Like, geez, Louise, we get it. He's on drugs. It's Circle K. No one gives a shit. I'd be surprised if he wasn't on drugs.
We get it. You fucking have a fucking nutritional bar in both hands.
We get it. You work out. You're so in tune with your body. You know when someone's intoxicated, or as you said, underneath heavy narcotics.
Oh, shit.
Because he's such a good guy, because he's just buying a health bar. He's just buying health bars. He would never be intoxicated.
He's a vegan.
Exactly. Someone's saying it's good gas. Here we go.
Good gas?
Yeah.
It tastes delicious. I prefer this gas.
Oh, I love this one. I love this one. They wrote sales as like ship sales. You know what I mean? Not SALE.
Yeah.
They had SAIL. All right, read this one. NF 21 reviews, 107 photos, 2 stars a year ago. Watch for price in this place. Advertise sales that change, then go to counter. Okay. Sales tax twice was higher than store down the street. Friendly hello when you come, then not friendly or when questioned on price discrepancies. This man of pure heart and soul wouldn't recommend only if you were desperate for gas. Fast, ugly attitude. Fast?
I'm thinking this guy probably had glossy eyes and
heavy intoxication.
He had trouble figuring things out. Confused at the register when it was more.
Can you imagine it is that dude that works there? He's so high that he reviews the place. Terrible service. The guy just standing, he's like him looking in the mirror. God wouldn't stop staring at me.
Just eyeballing me.
I love that. It was so all over the place. And to say the sales tax is twice as high as the store down the street, that doesn't even fucking make any sense at all. And fast, ugly attitude. I love that. Fast, ugly attitude. I don't even get that, Kelly. That is something else. Fast, ugly attitude. Very interesting.
Paying twice the tax as down the street.
I know. Holy moly.
Shouldn't you just know? Okay, this is what we get charged with for tax in this state.
Yeah.
So I expect 12% on my bill. So I look at it, it's like 12%. If I saw more than that, I wouldn't be saying, "Hey man, they charge 24% on tax."
I know.
I'd call somebody and report that. Like,
exactly. That's pretty much it's illegal.
Yeah, pretty sure. It's just a bad review. That's funny.
Super weird.
Fucking people.
Okay, here we go. We got 2 good ones here. How are we doing for time? We're doing good on time. This one's just weird. 3 stars. DL, 138 reviews, 180 photos, 4 years ago. The convenience outweighs the location. I have to revise this because I have had one negative experience. Jeez Louise, America. Wild coming to Circle K. Wild. I'm guessing it's wild coming to Circle K. I even met a homeless pirate. Yes, there are homeless pirates. Okay, weirdo.
A homeless pirate.
Here's another good one here. C9, 1 review and new podcast. Newbie review, 1 star, 5 years ago. This store took a debit card that did not belong to the purchaser and compromised my account. They have like a 0. It's all in capitals. And in account, they actually have 2 O's, but one's a 0. It's ACCO0UNT. Weird. How would you even add that? They need to be a little more diligent when identifying the person making a purchase. So they're mad at this person. Their debit card, I can figure it out. Their debit card got stolen.
Yeah,
and someone went in there to use it. Exactly. But they're not going to ID you for debit purchases. Are you fucking insane?
Never have.
And I know, never have, never will. It's a debit card, not a credit card, you idiot.
That's crazy.
I know. And you're gonna be mad that they didn't ID the guy.
1-star review.
I know, over that. What an idiot.
Cancel your card next time you lose it.
Yeah, dumbass.
Fuck.
They need to be more diligent with identifying the person making a purchase. No, they don't.
I do not want to have to show my ID every time I buy anything.
No, thank you. Let's round it out with this one here, Kelly. Another newbie review. DB, one review, 1 star, 4 years ago. I did not go to Circle K. Okay. But someone obtained my debit card number, made a fake card, and used it there. From other reviews I've read, it seems that it's happening a lot there. Possibly someone who works there. It's a big Circle K scam.
So they fucking spend like a ton of money to copy a card, produce a new one, so they can fucking buy $5 worth of fucking candy at the Circle K. I don't get that shit.
And smokes. You are an idiot. I love it. Good stuff.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it.
This person, I have no idea what wickedness bought here. What the hell? What is wrong?
I have no idea either, sir.
I have no idea what wickedness bought here. What is wrong with you, America? That is good stuff. Good stuff. Well done. Well, let's take a little break here. We will be right back after these brief messages. Do you like chickens? Do you like eggs? Do you like roosters too? Well, come on down to Crazy Ladies Chicken Hut, where we can pet chickens. You can get eggs from them, and for $10, we'll let you take them all back and turn a blind eye, if you know what I'm saying. Wink. Crazy Ladies Chicken Hutch. We'll do anything for $10 with our chickens. Come on down off I-95. Look for the big chicken sign. Masks are not mandatory.
Oh, shit.
When you're watching UFC and drinking tons and tons of beer, make sure to work in a water. You'll thank me in the morning. Water, helping hangovers since 1901. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials, and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water in the house. You know I'm talking tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. I barely got to play any Cyberpunk this week. And I think there must have been something going on because my internet was terrible. Friday I think I was trying to play. My internet was fucking super terrible on Friday. I couldn't get the game going. Unfortunately, with being this, I experienced this streaming downside really, where my controller just wouldn't work. Damn. It kept on saying reconnect the controller, but I could still go like into the Stadia menu and then move my controller moved around and worked fine. Oh. But it just kept on crashing on me. It was so weird. It just kept on crashing on me. But playing obviously a lot of Cyberpunk. The week before that. Really loving it as always. Still, I've kind of been in the Badlands now. It's really really cool. So it's kind of like a deserty area, kind of nomad style and shit like that. So, just a good change of pace. There's a lot of like dump sites and shit like that around. So it's a really cool change of pace, kind of like from the city, with these massive high rises and streets to like this kind of this open desert area, which I thought was a nice touch for the game to be. There's cactuses and shit like that, and you can run them over with your car and shit. But I did some really cool missions in the Badlands, and kind of I'm just basically done. I basically cleaned up all the side missions as well, and there was a really really cool mission where I had to go save the leader of I can't remember the heck the name of their crew is, but they're like the kind of the nomads with this Pan Am girl that you've helped out as well. So you got to go save the leader got kidnapped and by this other gang in the desert, and you got to go and bust her out. And so you got to go and Pan Am's kind of watching over your shoulder with a sniper rifle, and it's like a compound with tons and tons of dudes, and so you got to go in there. It's like in most games, you can enter a bunch of different ways by sneaking, or just going in guns and blazing. I started sneaking around, and that's what I want to talk about. Huge was the hacks now. My hacks are just crazy right now. I usually can just clear out a whole room of dudes with just using my hacks and just fucking with them. I got a bunch of new attacks, and I've got upgraded hacks now. So now I hit the left bumper on the joystick, and I go into like a slow motion mode where I can do different things to guys, like make them so they can't see, make it so they get hurt by shocking, or make them burnt, or make them have a basically damage their brain. Even I can just really do a ton of shit, or I can make them freeze so they can't even move. Like they're not actually frozen, but they just can't move at all. Tons of different things you can do, and I have it now that and it takes RAM, so you get like RAM that you can only, and each one only costs certain. But so you go in, you breach their protocol, you got to do a code, you breach the protocol, and then it lowers all the hacks costing for me as well, so I can just do tons and tons of guys and mess them up. But usually it'll bring alert, so if you're sneaking around and doing it. But right now I do like an extra 50% damage, and then another extra 50% damage if I hack somebody that's unaware. So if I sneak hack somebody, so you know what I mean. So I'm just killing dudes without even pulling a trigger. So I bust into this place, kill everybody, and save the dude and get out. And it was kind of a cool mission leaving. And there was a storm coming in. So just as I'm leaving, we're in like a van, and there's a storm, and the girl's driving. You're shooting out of the back of the van, killing these other dudes, and eventually you get to a house where you put reinstall the power on the house, and you guys spend the night there. And kind of that was basically it for the Badlands. Really, like I said, really a lot of fun. I've done a ton of missions there with fighting different of the psycho dudes. And now I'm seeing guys in mech suits now. So I fought two guys in mech suits there. They're really hard. They usually have like these crazy ass rail cannons and shit like that, and they have a ton of armor, and they usually have a shield on them too. So they can actually just defend against everything when I fight them. It's hard to even, my rocket launcher really doesn't affect them, and I've got a bunch more buffs on my dude. Like I got a bunch more implants and shit on my guy. So now I've found other ones where not only do I have a bunch of armor on, like subdermal implant armor type shit, I'm also like immune to burning, and I'm immune to electricity damage too. So that was two huge things, and I'm just mopping the floor with dudes. Basically, it's hard. I'll go into like some pretty tough fights, and I'll have to heal and whatnot against these massive crews of dudes. So you no matter what, you still have to go into the battles strategically, which I really enjoy. It's not foolproof. I'm not invincible when I go into these battles, even though I got some crazy ass gear right now. And always changing your guy up too. You're always getting some new items to wear. But the guns, I always just love the guns in the game. I got a really badass shotgun, and this I got a really cool rifle too. Still loving the game every minute of playing it. I just wish I had more time to play it, honestly. Just by shit, I've just been so busy at home and crap like that. So it is such as life, you know what I mean. And I know I'll get back to the game again. And just was shitty that when I did have time to sit down, the game was lagging out on me. So hopefully that problem's gone, or hopefully my kids didn't like destroy my controller and I didn't know about it or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just the controller or something. But I hope the game's gonna be better when I decide to play tonight. How about you, man? What games did you get up to this week?
So basically, I haven't really been playing Grand Theft Auto 5, but I've been logging into it just to like collect, because I got Amazon Prime.
Right,
so I
right.
get 200,000 every week.
Yep.
So I've been just logging on, and then like once in a while, if something's like super cheap, I'll just buy it. But I haven't really been playing it at all. But it seems to be like just as active as ever, even after all those
weird,
bannings
eh?
and everything. Yeah. I don't know if people are playing it on the new consoles too. I don't know. I think it might be different though. Like they might have a extended map. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. I probably should look into it. But I have been playing a lot of Apex still. I've kind of dropped Watson as a main now,
Really?
and I've been playing a lot just as Bangalore.
Okay. Wow.
Just
Why
because
is that?
I've developed more of like an aggressive style now.
Okay.
I've been getting better playing with people with PC, and one thing I really like is her passive. If someone shoots you, she like just sprints. So
Right.
it'll just like she basically runs as fast as Octane if she's getting shot at. So
Wow.
you can get out pretty fast of a situation. The second thing is I love the smoke. Once again, you can either hide yourself, pretend like you're retreating, pop the smoke and attack them, or you can use the smoke if like there's a third party and your team gets knocked. I've been using smoke just to heal my team.
Oh, cool.
While the other team are like
Right.
attacking each other, right? So I found both those super useful, and then in the end game, I found her like Berard attack pretty useful. Like if I can get inside like a small house with my team,
Yeah.
and the circle's shrinking, I just drop it right on the house. Right, we're all
Nice.
safe. Everybody else gets hit. So I've been finding just the aggressive skills of Bangalore a lot more useful than with Watson now, because I've been having so many teams too to just want to run the whole game. So
Yeah.
like trying to set up any defense with Watson, it becomes pretty much impossible.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So like if I get like a Watson on my team, I'll still be Caustic, or if I get a Caustic on my team, I'll still be Watson, just because I know it's going to be more of a defensive team.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, I've just been using Bangalore, and it's been working really well.
Cool.
She is a smaller character too.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just a tiny bit bigger than Wrath, but Wrath has always been used. I'm not sure why Wrath is used more than Bangalore, to be honest with you. It's just like her ability to go invisible for a little bit. It takes a while to actually like happen now. I think you can actually get smoke out faster than go invisible.
Oh, wow.
And then not only that, but like she gets a trail behind her when she's invisible and
Yeah.
running. So like you can still kind of see where she's going. You just can't shoot at her basically.
Yeah.
While she's running. And then the portal is there is instances where you can use it, but it's mostly pointless if your team's just running the whole time.
Oh, big time.
Unless you're gonna be the one in front doing the portal.
Well, like we said before, you have people with situational specials.
Yeah.
You can only use it, very rarely, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
rarely, but you can only use it at certain times, right?
Depending on what your team's playing like as well.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
of course. But still, with Bangalore's special of just bombardment, you're going to be able to use that at tons of different times.
Yeah, and I find her smoke a whole lot more useful than Gibby's shield. And
Nice.
And yeah, so like Gibby's good too. Like he can take more hits than Bangalore, but he's such an easy target that I find like sniping Gibby's from across the
That's hilarious.
map, like super easy.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
So the one I have now, like I got a skin where it's mostly black, but it has like a little bit of red, so
Right.
it hides it really well too. So yeah, I've just been doing really well with Bangalore recently. So I've been maining her.
Cool.
And sometimes I'll use Loba too. I forget how useful Loba is. Just because like basically your team's gonna get good gear if she's on your team. And in end game she really helps too, because she can throw down her little staff, and like if your team's low on ammo and heals,
Yep.
they can all just get it in a room
Yeah.
while they're hiding, right? So it's like granted, like they'll know where you are just because when you grab something it makes like a little trail towards the building that is everyone's getting sucked into. But yeah, it's super useful for things like that. And like I was able to grab like fucking like 6 grenades end game before and just start lobbing them.
Crazy.
Yeah, so she could be super useful too. But yeah, mostly just Bangalore. The maps are all the same. Everything's pretty much the same. I've been getting a lot of like angry teammates.
Really? Wow.
Microphone. I don't know if people are just getting like
That's hilarious.
irritated being stuck inside all day, but
Wow.
yeah, it's like one thing I didn't even understand. Like I was playing Lobo one game,
Yep.
and my team pointed to one place that they're going, so I'm like, okay, that's where we're going. So I just went there, and then they split off at the very end, and then I threw down my staff and I started just shopping is what they call it.
Yeah.
just grabbing gear. And then they come like running towards where I am after, and they're like, "Why'd you put it in the very corner?" Like all angry.
That's
It's
hilarious.
like you weren't even here. Like, I didn't even think
I know.
you cared. Like,
I know. Is that like I was supposed to ask you for your approval?
Yeah, man.
When you weren't even there? What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck?
so weird. So people like, I don't know, they're just getting a little testy, I think. Especially now that like I reached gold again, I'm trying to get to platinum.
Oh, okay, nice.
So people, I think, especially in the gold, they're like really, really testy trying to get to fucking.
I think they're
platinum.
better than everyone.
Yeah, I just kind of laugh it off. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's still pretty funny.
Yeah,
But that'd be a good mix. Would be Loba with that grenade guy, eh?
Yeah,
That'd be
for
pretty
sure.
crazy, eh? That'd be a crazy mix.
I think Loba, the grenade guy, and Bangalore would be pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good
Yeah.
team.
Tons of ammo.
I keep getting lifelines on my team that refuse to do the lifeline draw.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
I know, it's just so weird. Like, if that's who you want to be, are you just that for the lifeline package? Like, you don't want to like help your team at all? Like, I just
That
don't
makes
get
zero
it.
sense. Yeah.
Also, people like just running away after like when you get into battle. They
Really?
just run away, and then they're like, just keep running. They won't grab your tags or anything.
Wow.
It's like, this is how you get to platinum? Really? It's like, what the fuck? What game are you playing, man?
I guess a single player.
But you can play duels and singles too. So
Yeah.
I don't get it. Actually, no, wait. I don't think you can join for ranked. I think you have to play 3-player ranked. So yeah, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But
super
yeah,
weird.
still the same problems. Same old game.
Same old
But
game.
it's still fun.
No, it's cool that you're switching up characters, to suit what kind of to suit your team and to also suit your strategy for that time. Obviously, like I said, Caustic and Watson are going to be more defensive, but going with Bangalore and other dudes, you can mount one hell of an attack. I think that's kind of cool to shape your top three picks to really almost having two different top threes of defense top three and an attacking top three. I think that's really cool, and that's what the game is really just evolving into one hell of a super strategic first person shooter that I think that it almost seems like it could overcome some of the best online first person shooters out there ever.
I think last week it reached its peak player ever.
Really?
Yeah. So it's still running strong.
Crazy. I could believe it. I could. Yeah, exactly. You're not seeing the decline. Like PUBG. You know what I mean? No one plays PUBG anymore. They have bots now in it.
Oh,
you know
really?
what I mean? Yeah, that's how bad it is right now. So you can.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dead game.
Yeah,
man.
dead game.
That's
Dead
sad.
game. Yeah, exactly. Fortnite I think will always be popular, but
Yeah.
I think Apex is going to give her a run for her money.
I think Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite, because they're all battle royale, but they're all so different
Yeah.
that I think they all can make it.
Yeah. Oh,
in-
big
into
time.
the same,
There's enough.
Yeah.
There's
same
enough people to
environment.
play out there that'll definitely like them all. Let's talk some UFC. UFC 259, Blahovich versus Arasani. Good card, not great, but it was definitely good. I definitely really enjoyed it. Tons of fights on this one as opposed to the last few cards have only had like 10 and 9 fights. This one has 15. No one got sick. No one misses weight on this one here. And let's get to it here, Kelly. We got I did really good on my picks too. Had a good day of picks. We got Trevin Jones TKOing Mario Bautista, Uros Medic TKOing Alon Cruz, Amanda Lemos also getting the TKO victory over Liviana Souza. Crazy win for Sean Brady. With a huge win over Jake Matthews. That's a huge win. Jake Matthews is one hell of a tough dude. He's still a very young guy too, and he was on a 3-fight win streak. And he's only 26, fighting out of Australia. Jake Matthews had up and downs, but he's still super young, and you're constantly fighting in the UFC. He's been fighting in the UFC since 2014, so he's been fighting in the UFC for 6 years. He's had a ton of fights. You're going to have some ups and downs. And Sean Brady just showed that, hey, I'm a contender, and with a huge win and a finishing win, too, over Jake Matthews. Undefeated fighter, fighting out of Philadelphia. I know he's good friends, I believe, or he's a training partner with Paul Felder. And this undefeated dude just keeps going. This is his 4th UFC win. His first one was that Court McGee fight that was kind of a tough one. He could have lost that one, but He had another decision and then 2 finishes now. He's watch out for this dude because he's up and coming. 4 wins in a row in the UFC is going to be is going to start turning heads. 14-0 too at welterweight. Let's see what this guy can do.
Court McGee is probably a good fucking example of what you need to do to get into the UFC.
Meth?
No. Just fucking be super durable and fucking willing to take punishment.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, they're not going to go down like they do in the amateurs. But meth is probably not helping him. I mean, he's pretty good now, right?
Oh, yeah, he's super sober, yeah. So sober he didn't even take painkillers for surgery and shit like that.
Dedicated as fuck.
Yeah. Huge win, though. We see another Nigerian star here in Kennedy Njukwu with a huge KO punch over Carlos Ulberg. Tim Elliott winning a big one over Jordan Espinosa. He was a huge underdog and won. I picked Tim Elliott to win that one. Kai Kara France getting a huge KO over Rogerio Bontorin. Askar Askarov getting a huge win over Joseph Benavides. Has the brain damage destroyed Benavides, Kelly?
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
No, I know. That's 3 losses for him in a row.
He needs to retire.
It goes from being the guy who was going to save 125, and then running into Deason Figueiredo twice, getting the shit kicked out of him both times, and now we see a kind of it was a one-sided beatdown. Kyler Phillips getting a big win over Yadong Sung. And Dominic Cruz. We come to the main card here, Kelly. Dominic Cruz.
Okay.
Looking
the okayest.
With the okayest victory of his career over Casey Kenny. That was a big win for him, though. Casey Kenny was also on a 3-fight win streak, beating Nathaniel Wood, Heli Arsting, and Louis Smolka, and getting the split loss. How did you see it, Kelly?
Oh, I think Dominic won.
It was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I even said at the end, I was like, tough one for the judges to call. Dominic definitely won the third. I gave him the third. He won handily won. But the first 2 rounds are pretty rough.
Yeah, pretty close.
And speaking of rough fights, you see Alexander Ratchik get the victory over Thiago Santos. Whew. That was a bad fight to watch. My God, that was one of them.
Diego's not moving, man. His knees are jacked. He's fucked.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right, man. I don't think his knees are ever going to be good.
No. He was throwing kicks and shit, but he was like so planted. He wasn't moving. He wasn't hopping. He didn't want to risk anything, man.
Big win for Alexander Ratchik, but weird loss for Thiago Santos. Did not look like the normal Thiago. He landed some real strong kicks.
Yeah.
And he landed some good punches too, but Ratchik really didn't do much himself and gets the win. What was Thiago Santos' last fight? Oh, that's Thiago Santos' 3rd loss in a row too now. He beats Jan Blahovich, then loses to John Jones, loses to Glover, and now you see another loss to Alexander Ratchik. 3 losses in a row for Moreta. This is crazy.
I think he might be done.
I think so too.
How did UFC not cut him?
Yeah. I know. Hey, weird. He's got a lot of UFC fights as well. And we see the absolute smother fest of Islam Makhachev just absolutely smothering Drew Dober. I bet on Drew Dober on this one. I thought
really?
He was. Yeah, I thought. I know. Islam is. I think he's cousins with Khabib. He has a Khabib fighting style, and he's basically undefeated as well. Oh, he has 1 loss in the UFC. He's 19-1. The guy's on a crazy streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. 7-fight win streak in the UFC, and
I expected Drew to do better.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. I thought he was going to do good on the ground, but man, he just got absolutely fucking manhandled.
He looked like he was in shape, but he didn't have the skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, that's true, man. Good call. Yeah, he was on a 3-fight win streak too, so it was two bigger names colliding at 155, and Islam moves up the rankings. Really anybody's guess who he can fight. Adding more uncertainty to the 155 and just putting another shark in that pool.
You should fight Connor next.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see it. Do it, Dana.
Just get grounded out again.
Do it, Dana. And that's what we saw. Some real good takedowns. I did enjoy the takedowns. It wasn't a terribly slow fight, but it was just so one-sided. And then we see one of the wackiest finishes, and in my opinion, in UFC history, Aljamain Sterling becoming the new champion of 135 by DQ. I didn't think you could actually get a change of belt by DQ. That's why I thought it was like Peter Yan was going straight wrestling style. Well, if I get disqualified, I can't lose the belt. Yeah. But not in the UFC. It was a pretty crazy fight. Sterling coming out, really beating the shit out of Peter Yan.
The first round was crazy.
He beat the crap out of him. It was a great first round.
Kicked the shit out of his stomach, his ribs, everything.
Really beat the crap out of him. I thought the fight was going to be really. I thought there was a good chance. I thought the fight was going to be ended there.
Yeah.
Peter Yan coming back in the second round and kind of making it more of a fight.
Yeah.
And really tagging at Aljamain. And then it goes on, and then. Boom, the illegal knee, and the referee said he's down, and like a mousetrap, Peter Yan knees his head into the second row, and can't continue.
His corner told him to.
Yeah, I could believe
That's fucking crazy. He looked at his corner, he's like, do I kick? And then they said, yes, you kick.
Yeah, exactly.
And he fucking did it.
Yeah, exactly.
His corner lost him the belt, man. That'd be rough.
Whew.
At least he's not to blame.
Yeah,
I mean, he should probably know the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
Yeah.
Good call by the ref to stop it, like instantly. That was a huge knee.
It'll be a good rematch too.
It will be. Yeah, they're gonna have to have a rematch, obviously.
Yeah.
For Aljamain Sterling to call Peter Yan the paper champ before this, now he totally is the paper champ, winning by disqualification. I didn't even think that was a possibility. Yeah. But since it was intentional, it is basically intentional because the referee said he is down, and so he knew, he was verbally warned that he is down to not hit him. I don't know why he didn't punch.
Yeah.
Why he didn't punch and why he fucking threw that super strong knee. There was no way that was not illegal. And we have a new champion. Really weird. Did not see that one going down that way. I bet on Peter Yan too.
Oh man.
I know. Good. It was actually a good showing by Aljamain in the first round. He was bullying him. He was beating the crap out of him. Peter Yan is just far too tough though. Peter Yan is tough as nails. And then we still see the rise of the most winningest woman fighter in combat sports history, and Amanda Nunes being the shit out of Megan Anderson. Hot tamales, finishing in the first round.
Non-competitive.
Not at all. She beat the crap out of her, and it was pretty obvious. Megan Anderson lost to Felicia Spencer, and then Felicia Spencer lost to Amanda Nunes. She went to full 5 rounds, but got the crap kicked out of her for all 5 rounds. And so, just by simple fight math, Megan Anderson wasn't really going to stand a chance, and it really showed. She got the shit kicked right out of her, to get beat up on the feet and then to go down.
The roster is so depleted.
It really is.
Actually going down people to fight her.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're on the 10th ranked person to fight the
now
champ
9th ranked person.
It's like, what the fuck?
No, I know, it's really, really stupid. That we talked about it before, that the fact that Megan Anderson was fighting for the belt was pretty weird to begin with.
Yeah,
I think she was fighting off 2 fight win streak. Exactly.
And now they have nobody that's on a 2-fight win.
Yeah, exactly. The 145-pound division for women is really, really in trouble. They need help. They need help desperately. And but hey, Amanda Nunes is the benefit factor of this whole thing. She's getting richer by the day and living a lifestyle, obviously with a new baby boy.
The true champ.
Yeah, true champ. Absolutely. Basically the champ that I couldn't. The only way she's going to lose a belt is when she decides to give him up. Really, we've seen it time and time again here. Just none of these women can hang with her.
Well, we said that about Ronda Rousey too.
That's true. That's true.
Just not anytime this year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the belt safe with her all of
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Jan Blahovich versus Israel Arasani. Not a great fight. I think Jan looked good. I think obviously he was worried about losing his belt. I think Jan looked good. He landed some good shots, landed some key takedowns. Won the fight how he was supposed to win the fight. Jan didn't do anything wrong. I think Israel came out really, really weird. He looked kind of like bottom heavy, really, where he put on a lot of weight on his butt and his legs, really, is what it looked like. So, to have to come and show up to the weigh-ins with that pizza just to make the 200-pound mark, and he came out slow. I don't know. It wasn't his day. I don't know if it wasn't his night. He wasn't really throwing that many great punches or combos or any flashy shit.
It was like
he was tentative.
Romero, like he was scared almost to get hit.
A little bit. And I think Jan tagged him a few times.
Yeah.
And maybe did that scare him or whatnot. But I don't know, man. What's your take on this fight, Kelly?
My take is there's weight classes for a reason.
Yeah.
And when people go up or down, they usually add or lose weight to go with it. They don't just fucking maintain what they fought at 185. Like, I don't understand what his thought process was to let somebody have like fucking 35, 45 pounds on him. He just fucking, you easily just take him down, lay on him, and just tire him out because he's so much more weight than he's used to. I don't understand like what the thought process was. Like he thinks he's so fucking in the future, like with his fighting style, that he can just beat up anybody. I think he was just drinking too much of his own Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what it was. Like, I don't understand how he thought he could win that fight against somebody who's much bigger than him.
Yeah, Jan. I think the thing about Jan is he's deceivingly big.
Yeah,
I think he doesn't look as big as he is. I think he's quite wide and tall and wide for that weight class.
Yeah,
and
his arms were like twice as big as Izzy's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
exactly.
I'm just like, why doesn't he just grab Izzy and fucking muscle him to the ground? And that's eventually what he did.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. He totally did. And he had some really good takedowns. He was landing some good shots on the ground too.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great fight for the fans. But
Izzy's a 185-pound beast. He's not. Yeah. He's not. Unless he fucking does steroids, I don't think he can put on the weight. I think he's one of those people who just fucking have trouble.
And he risked his record. He now has a blemish. He now has a loss too, right? Moving up to fight the bigger dude, he has a loss. He didn't look like the faster fighter.
I hope he got paid because
he must have. He must have. You know what I mean? He definitely must have. And
it didn't make his stock go up at all.
No, not at all. And then there's John Jones piling in on him. Obviously afterwards, he had to see that coming.
Trash talking.
You had to see that coming. You know what I mean? So you set himself up for that. Saying he's going to come for John Jones, a heavyweight afterwards. You couldn't even. You thought you had an easy fight in Jan Blahovich.
Yeah.
And he beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily. So you think you're going to be able to beat John Jones? Crazy. Too much Kool-Aid in the Israel Arasani camp, and he got too drunk on it.
Hopefully he's humbled now.
Yeah.
He sounded like he didn't even care after the fight.
He really didn't.
So I don't know if it was just about money, and he kind of knew. Because maybe he knew, like, I'm just going to have to go back down to 185. What's the point of,
Yeah, maybe.
Money fight.
Yeah, maybe. Still.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. No, I didn't like it either. And on paper, it sounded like a good idea, but the actual result wasn't that enjoyable.
No.
And especially, at the end of the night, we just saw a great finish with a Nunez over Megan Anderson, then we have this stinker.
Yeah, man, it's too bad that wouldn't have been the main event.
It should have been. It absolutely should. I can see why the chance. UFC loves their champs, and they wanted another one. And Israel Arasani was not ready for the task.
I don't know why they do, because it just holds up two divisions.
It really does. Yeah, it really does. I think they all, they want the record books. They want the shit to talk about. You know what I mean? They want him to become a star, like a mega star in his country, and then create tons and tons of fans, nationalistic fans, which which happen in Canada too, right? Like George St. Pierre, would MMA be as popular in Canada if it wasn't for George St. Pierre?
It's a good question.
You know what I mean? I don't think it would be. I think it'd still be popular, but not as popular as it is.
Yeah. He brought in the women, too.
He really did, yep. Oh, it's either way. It was good to watch the fights, and I was really looking forward to this card. And we got one crazy finish with a disqualification We see, Amanda Nunes with a beautiful, a beautiful submission, and then we see kind of a weird decision. So we got everything. We got everything with this one. That about wraps it up, my man. Just want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening. Appreciate everyone tuning in. The Spotify peeps, thank you all for listening. And check us out on Twitter @AndNewPodcast. The Stephen and Kelly and New Podcast. Back in the saddle again for episode number 112. And we're going to get to enjoy the rest of this Sunday. Well then, for producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Stephen, and you've been listening to the And New Podcast.